today's webinar. Yeah, thank you very much for attending. I'm about to start. My name is Antti Wolk. I'm the Managing Director of Wolk Aftersales. I'm 44 years old and responsible within our company for everything data related, responsible for our after-sales access database and the e-commerce insights tool. What is today's topic we are going to present? And what you can learn from today's session is exactly to know or to see what is the content of our e-commerce insights tool and what kind of information, what kind of insights about the e-commerce channel in Europe you can learn from this tool. And regarding the timing, it will be roughly about 40 minutes presentation where I'm going to jump into the tool, into the live tool directly, and we are going through the different modules so that you get a good solid idea about the content and the information you can gain from it. And afterwards, we have a little bit of time to have a short Q&A session, but I'm very happy to answer questions also in between. So as we are a rather small group today, feel free to ask questions. I'm here today with my colleague Felix. He will keep an eye on the chat as well. So feel free to leave your questions in the chat. We're trying to answer directly to the content what is presented. And as we are that small group, feel free also to unmute yourself and raise a question directly. I'm happy to have a more interactive session today than just presenting everything. Okay, just a few words to about the company itself, Wolk Aftersales, to everybody who might not know. We are a consultancy agency with a clearly and solely focus on the aftermarket industry, on the automotive aftermarket industry. And this is something what we are having since 25 years. Starting from Germany, growing over the European market, and since 4 years we are looking also more and more internationally. And I'm directly jumping into one of our core products, which is the after-sales access database. I'm going to share my screen, and I hope that everybody is able to see it. And this database is the core product from Wolk Aftersales, where we are collecting information and data in a structured way since 12 years. So there is a lot of information about the single distributors, wholesalers, everybody who is dealing with car parts or in general car components on the European continent is located here, and we are observing information like to whom they belong, to what of these international or national trade and buying groups are they belonging, what is their turnover, how many outlets they have, and how many employees, etc. So this kind of information is what we are observing since 12 years. So with a solid history information about all the changes, mergers, acquisitions, and of course growing in terms of outlets, etc. And in this observing, we are certainly also observing the e-commerce players and treating them as typical offline distributors as well. So we find them here in our general database, but since 2 years we have created a dedicated module on the e-commerce channel to bring more insights to these typical, to these specific group of distributors or car parts dealers. Besides these information, we have a couple of other information what helps our customers, which are mainly coming from the industry and distribution, helping to understand what is the general structure of the different countries in Europe. How are they structured by the number of garages, by the types of garages, what kind of garage concepts and systems are on the market, who is running them, how many outlets, how many garages are connected to these concepts, etc. Furthermore, we have calculated the total potential in terms of aftermarket volumes, in terms of what is the value in parts per country, and of course, something what is very central and very important for understanding the differences of the markets is the car park itself. So this kind of information is giving a lot of high-level information, understanding the markets and making these markets also comparable among each others. So this, as I said, is the general after-sales access database, and part of this is the e-commerce insights, and this is the today's topic, where I'm going to present you these three different modules. The first one is about the players itself. Second one is giving a lot of detailed information on the eBay marketplace, which is a kind of an example representing the e-commerce market in a marketplace itself. And third one is about the car servicing portals. So this one is not about the car parts sellers. It's not about the parts. It's about routing car drivers to garages through these kind of portals. But let's start at the very left with the e-commerce players. So what you can learn from here is the companies that are running a B2C web shop. So we see here at the moment we have mapped or observing 1,450 different companies that are operating 2,235 different web shops. And the web shop has to be B2C, meaning that the web shop is open to anybody, and you can purchase car components from the website. So this is in this first step, we did this mapping and did a lookup what kind of web shops are in the markets and to whom they belong. So this is the first level of information you can gain from here. You understand, looking at the example of Autodoc, we see they having here 13%. 13% of what? The measure behind is the user traffic of the last 12 months, that we can see here in the graph over the monthly development. And these user traffic of the last 12 months is the indicator of how successful the web shops has been over the last 12 months. At this stage, we unfortunately do not know about the turnover of the single web shops, but the user traffic is certainly a very good indicator to compare the web shop's performance among each other. So now we see that Autodoc is having a quite dominant situation here at the moment, and I can select this one. Let's select so that we have only Autodoc, and we see on the right a lot of different web shops. If I scroll up, we see that only Autodoc is having 256 different single web shops operating in 27 different countries, meaning that in many countries there are 10 or more different web shops belonging to the same company. And that's clearly their successful strategy, having per country a lot of different web shops. And yeah, that's their, yeah, not really a secret, but the way how they became that successful, doing a lot of effort in search engine optimization, so that you will end up, or at least 4 or 5 of their different web shops will end up in the top 10 list of Google or Bing or any other search engine. And that not only raising up the chance that customers can find your shop, but dropping out or kicking out also competitors out of this search engines top 10 list. And yeah, we all know that's the most important metric to be successful in the internet, to be visible, to be available to the end customers. So this is yeah, just an example on Autodoc, but that's how it's built. You can firstly learn what companies are active and having gaining a lot of user traffic, and with what kind of web shops are they active in the market. That is the information on the one hand, and on the other hand, it's of course also interesting to make a similar lookup from the countryside. For example, I will select France, and now we can learn who are the main players, who are the biggest e-commerce players in France, and we see here with Oscaro leading, but being followed already very closely by Autodoc, which is yeah, spread all over Europe, as we learned a few seconds ago. And there is more filtering and selection possible, so that we can define in pure online players. As we can see, we're not only looking at pure online players, but on every player who has a significant channel in the online or e-commerce market. That is also being the fact for players like Noroto or Fever or Carte Cash in France, which are clearly offline or traditional players, but having also the a powerful e-commerce channel. So we can, yeah, either filter by being a pure online player or filtering by different specializations, so that we can compare tire dealers or general car parts dealers only among each others. And when we're looking further, we have on the bottom of each of our dashboards, which is, by the way, yeah, as you can see, online accessible. It's now the live tool where we're looking in, and we have on each of the dashboards this kind of table, which is giving a kind of a summary to all the information we have selected on the top. So everything what is where our customers are doing selections or filtering, the entire dashboard will change accordingly. And these kind of widgets or tables in this case can be also downloaded to CSV, PDF, or Excel, so that you can start working on your own PC with the selection you made. But it goes at this stage also a little bit deeper. We can jump from here everywhere where we see these blue highlighted numbers. We can jump into the next level, and we see that we have a single or detailed profile on each of the companies, where we are gathering information on the address, of course, on company contacts, but having also a kind of a summary about the company, where we can see if it belongs to another company or belongs to international trade and buying groups, and we see the total turnover of the entire company or group. which is in this case for Autodoc being a pure online player, the entire turnover is dedicated to the e-commerce channel. But in other players like Neurotor, for example, we would see the entire Neurotor's turnover, but not being split down into the e-commerce turnovers. And we have a short summary on the traffic details. As we can see here, only the French web shops, we directly see the most powerful ones. And additionally, we have a bit of information about the user behavior. We see on the left pie chart the origin of the visits. So we see that 32% is using a typical desktop PC, and already 68 is coming from mobile devices. And furthermore, we learn from the right pie chart from where the users that has ended up in one of these Autodoc's websites, from where did they come to this website. And we see that 36% is coming from search engines, but already 40% is coming directly to the website, so meaning that they know already the URL and they type in directly. Yeah, and that's a good indicator for a good brand awareness or a good awareness of the URLs. Then we have also referral visits, meaning that other websites are referring to this one of these web shops, and 5% is coming from paid advertisements like Google Ads or others. More information we have here about the marketplace activities. So in this case, Autodoc, we have made a lookup. Is Autodoc also active on Amazon or eBay or Depato, which is a smaller marketplace or yeah, kind of a marketplace, but today mainly active in Germany. They having already market or same activities in France and Benelux countries, but rather on a smaller scale at the moment. And it just helps to understand, is this player yeah, having an omni-channel or multi-channel strategy, or is he focusing only on the web shop he has? I see there is coming a question.
Yes, hi, this is Zoran. I'm just wondering, in terms of the direct visits on the websites or the traffic, is that coming from apps, or is that actually from a you know, a direct typing in of a web address, or is it traffic generated by what's coming from the app interfaces?
Good question. This information, what we see here, is only dedicated to the traffic on the web shops. So the entire app traffic is not inside these traffic information.
Okay.
So everything is only regarding yeah, these, I don't know, 17 different URLs. But it's a good question, because regarding the applications, mobile applications, it's certainly a channel among these e-commerce channel, which is a special channel. And we have also, yeah, taking this into account here, we do not have the entire traffic of the mobile applications here, but we made a lookup on the Google Play Store and made also a mapping and made a lookup who is having such a mobile application from where end customers can make direct purchases. And in this case, it's yeah, Autodoc having one which is yeah, called the Autodoc Club, which is not for purchasing parts, but the other two ones are directly for purchasing parts. And we see from the total number of reviews and the number of average installs, we have an idea, an indicator how successful these applications are in the market. And we see, or if we are comparing these information and numbers with other applications from players like Mr. Otto, Kfz Teile 24 and other players, at the moment we see that there is only Autodoc having very significant number of users on their application. The others are definitely lacking behind. But once again, everything what's coming from the applications is not covered in the user traffic what we saw before. This is a specific channel, and the user or the traffic itself is now reflecting only the users going to the web shops or the websites itself. But certainly the mobile application is a channel which is gaining more importance and more attention, which is clearly the case because all the players, they are having a much closer relationship to the end customers, whereby the web shop is always dependent on either the search engines, so that yeah, you need to make sure that you will be under the top 5, whatever an end customer is going to type in what he's looking for. So you need to be very good in search engine optimization, or you are dependent on the marketplaces, where yeah, you are certainly have to pay a margin, roughly 10 to 12% something. And the mobile applications is definitely a very interesting channel because users are going to download the application. You are in direct contact with your end customers, and you are not dependent on on the marketplace or the search engines and users directly coming directly to your shop through the application. So that's therefore we believe that all players will definitely put more or invest more in this channel. And then we having also very detailed information on the eBay sales. So in case one of these players is having an account on eBay and selling parts on eBay, we are observing these information, and so that this is part of these detailed profiles. We can see here the development over the last 12 months, how the sales of the Autodoc account has developed. We see 7.3 million euro turnover on the eBay channel. So yeah, putting this into the big picture of Autodoc being a $1 billion company, that this channel is rather a very small one. But that's due to their massive visibility in the internet and their massive web shops they are offering. This is the core competence of them. But just to highlight at this, because if there are no further questions regarding this first module, I would jump into the next one, which is then giving way more information about the eBay marketplace itself. So let's jump into the next module. Need to repeat that this is all information only about the eBay marketplace. We took this eBay marketplace because it's still the biggest single marketplace for the category of car parts. I believe it's very tightly followed by Amazon in terms of total volume. But yeah, Amazon is a black box. We don't know really what's the total turnover there. From many interviews with the single online players, I know, yeah, of some of them that the category of general car parts is still not that well established than it is among or under eBay. But I believe that's more or less a matter of time when this will be on the same level as it is on eBay. But on the other hand, eBay is is open to that these information are gathered, what is impossible on Amazon. Therefore, we have focused here on eBay, and it's pretty nicely reflecting the entire e-commerce market in its bubble on the marketplace here. So we have we are observing 472 single companies where we made a lookup who of these traditional sellers we know is active on eBay, and we made a lookup on eBay who is having significant sales on eBay. So we ended up with these 472 companies operating on eBay with 592 different accounts. And so far we are looking only on eBay Germany. So everybody who is active on eBay Germany, selling on eBay Germany, we are observing and looking about the single sales on each of the accounts on eBay. But we have also, as we can see here, we have players from the US, even from Australia, which are active on eBay Germany. And as they are coming in our observation loop, we are looking the entire sales of these players, meaning that we have 11 US players where we are collecting information disregarding if it's sold in Germany or if it's sold in the US. That's kind of information what is at the moment technically impossible to understand where the sales went. But at the moment we are looking at 14.7 million single items being sold in the last 12 months for the entire volume of 747 million euros. And once again, to repeat, it's not the entire volume on eBay. There is much more, but we are looking only at 472 companies. And certainly we are, this is changing. We are taking companies in, some are dropping out, and we are doing this research constantly. So month by month, we are going to update this information so that we are looking always at the last 12 months. Let's move further down. We have a similar view as we had before. So on the left side, we see the companies, and on the right side, we see the single accounts. And again, we can firstly understand what kind of accounts is a single player operating on eBay, and we understand ATP being the biggest seller on eBay and being active with 6 different accounts, whereof 2 are bigger ones and doing the majority of the sales, and a couple smaller ones being active there. And when I scroll down, we get the insights on the category level. We see on 4 different category levels that are coming from eBay. So the category hierarchy is given from eBay. We understand in what categories ATP is doing its sales. And we can also, we understand here brakes and brake parts is the biggest category. We can select this and we see the drill down in the different types of in category level 4 and 5. And further, we get the distribution of the sales by the brand name, to understand what are the most important brands in general or by different category levels. In this case, we directly understand that ATP is pushing a lot and doing most sales with its own brand called Q1 part, but then followed by ATE strongly. So we're having here, as you can see, these three different layers. On the one hand, the sellers, we can understand who are the most important and most significant sellers. We can look from the category side and we can look from the brand side, meaning that or keeping in mind that we are looking still in only for brakes and brakes parts. If I deselect ATP, we get directly the entire list of sellers, and we understand who is the biggest seller on eBay regarding brakes. In this case, it's not ATP, it's Bundle. And if we go down again to the brake split, we understand also what are the most significant brands regarding brakes on eBay. So this is the lookup from the category side, and we can also then, looking from the perspective of a brand owner or a brand parts manufacturer, looking only at ATE in this case, understanding then who are the most, the biggest players when it comes only to ATE. It's then again a different one, and so you can start doing a lookup. Do I know these companies? Are they my primary customers? Are they potentially secondary customers? Should I create out of this a first primary customer, etc.? There is again a table view on the bottom of this dashboard, so that we can also understand a little bit more. We see also belongings, for example, ATP belonging to the SAG group or Cleverlock belonging to Intercars, etc. And we can learn from this table already a little bit more about the total number of sales and the average price to see who is being on the market with rather higher prices or lower prices. This makes more sense if I take out ATE, and we are looking here at brakes in general. We directly see ATP is selling to an average price of €50, Bundle with almost €90. So we see here the differences of their kind of strategy. Is it about doing volumes or about selling more quality parts? And again, there is, of course, a detailed profile behind, as we saw it from the first dashboard as well, with similar information here, with the total turnover, belongings to the international trade and buying groups, etc., and with information as we saw before. But at this level, we can even dig deeper. So whenever we made a selection on this level, again, we are still in the brakes and brakes parts, talking about the total volume of 85 million euro, and we can click on it and dig deeper to understand about these 85 million euro. We see firstly the historical development over the last 12 months, and we see here the daily sales, and these waves are reflecting the weeks, and we see that it has been raising at this level. We can look for seasonal changes, or if there are any peaks or downs, to understand what happens. And we see the total sales on a monthly basis, and similar information we have regarding the price. So we see here the general average price still in the category of brake parts, and we see the minimum price and the maximum price. And we directly see that eBay is a kind of a very blur marketplace. So within a category, you will find brake calipers or very small parts up to very expensive brake pads, brake discs, etc. So in this case, if it's about the pricing, we will see later on what is necessary to dig deeper into the article level. But for the first, it's the entire average price on the general category to see how it develops over the months. Give the first indication in what direction we are going. And the better view we have here on the average price on the monthly basis, we see that there is a slight upwards trend regarding the price. It's dependent on the categories. When we are looking at lighting, for example, there is a more steep or upwards trend more clearly, and in other categories it's rather stable as here. But in general, we can at the moment we can observe that prices are definitely raising according to the inflation what we are facing at the moment. And further down, we have the split into different categories. We have the split into the different brands, and we have the split into the different single players. So we can jump, for example, into whatever level we want to know. Either it's a specific brand or a specific player. Let's go for lot. We can firstly learn from these tables again what is the average sales, what is the number of sales, what is the average price, etc. But we can jump also into these next level, and that's the most granular level what we are showing here. So we need to be a little bit patient, taking a while. In the meantime, I can show you on this. Well, it's as I said, live occurring an error, but let's give it another try. So in this case, now we are looking at Kfz-Teile 24, only in category brake and brake parts. We see that the total sales is 2.3 million, and we see here the weekly development over the last 12 months. And further down, we are having here now the list of the single articles that is behind the entire sales of 2.3 million euros. And we see here that we are collecting also the article number, that is the eBay's article number, and the EAN number, which is very often given on eBay, but not always. It's only given if we are talking about a single product, but in many cases on eBay, the players are selling or offering products in a bundle with different products, different brands. So there is not able to give a specific EAN number, but whenever there is one, that is here the potential possibility to make a lookup with a given list of EAN numbers. If you are looking for a comparison with your list of EAN numbers or even product numbers, then we can do a specific individual matching in the background as well. And we see here also the link from where we can jump into the article on eBay itself, so that we can check and make a look up. And that is the most granular level of information, so that you can see how it is built up. In this case, we are collecting each of the sold articles by the selling price. You will find the total quantity per item, average price, max and min prices, etc. That's mainly all information on the eBay module. So understanding who are the big players, who are the players in general on eBay, how is the volume distributed by the different categories, how is it distributed by the different brand names, again, it's a very nice tool to make a research or analysis from these three different angles, either from the brand side, either from the category side, or the player side, to understand where are either my products already offered, or looking from the perspective of a distributor, what is my competition doing, what are their successful items on eBay. And as I said, we are observing this on a constant basis. So there is always a gap of 1.5 months until the information are gathered, prepared, and then available here in this tool. I saw there came a question regarding the UK market. To answer your question, at the moment we are doing this observation specifically for eBay Germany, but as I said, every significant UK seller or seller coming from the UK, so if I highlight this one, we have already 58 sellers that are selling parts on eBay Germany. We having here in our observation, and we have the entire sales on these, but we haven't built this for eBay UK so far. So the picture, as we see it here, would be totally different, of course, if we are observing all significant players on being active on eBay UK. Okay, so if there are no further questions regarding this module, I would jump into the next one, which is the car service portals, which is, as I said in the beginning, a little bit different from the others, because we are not looking on players that are selling parts. It's about players or portals that are trying to provide garages with customers. And either it is a real comparison portal where customers can type in the kind of service they are looking for, and create kind of an account so that they get offerings from nearby garages so that they can compare directly prices and service, or it is a kind of a rather open platform so that they get offerings or recommended garages, but not directly the offering what they can compare among each other. But what all these players, all these 69 players have in common is the routing and recommendation of garages to car drivers. We have taken this into account because we believe this is belonging also to the e-commerce channel and worthwhile to take a look at. And also worthwhile to see what other countries or how it being perceived in other countries. How does it work in other countries? Because we are located in Germany, we know our players, and we have witnessed that these players haven't been successful over the last years. So it's something what is so far not being accepted by the car drivers. But we can see that in other countries, these kind of business model is more successful than in Germany. We made this kind of research looking up what are platforms offering this, and again we see on the left side companies, and on the right side we see the single platform URLs, so that we can also understand which platform is belonging to what company here. And we see here again the entire user traffic which is generated on the platforms. And in this case, it's even more or the better, a very good indicator to understand how successful or how frequently visited these platforms are from the user side. And here we see directly who are the most successful ones. We see Your Mechanic, Go Mechanic, ID Garage are successful platforms. And we see down here the traffic starting from May 2020 and the development until today. There is a slight upward trend, but not that super significant that we could say that the lockdown would have a very significant push to these platforms. And even more interesting it becomes if we are looking to the single country view. We see certainly the US with very significant players generating a lot of traffic. And then followed by UK and France, where when we are looking at the European continent, we have the countries where these players are more established towards Germany. Another question I see. Please, Zoran.
Yeah, hi. I'm just wondering in terms of how you built this traffic score, because if it's purely on the traffic on the websites, it could be an indication on how much marketing those guys are putting into their online activities, and not really saying anything about how successful they are as a business. So is that taken into consideration in your scoring, or how does that work?
Well, the user traffic we are presenting here, showing here, is something what we purchase from one of these companies that are specialized on generating this information. There are a couple of market leaders like SimilarWeb, SEMrush, and others. We are taking information from SEMrush. Knowing that none of these companies is in a position or able to draw exactly the situation. So there is always a lot of calculation in the background, of course. But as soon as we stick to one of these players, we can compare the information or the indicators among each other. But in generally, what they are doing is that they collecting the user traffic going to one of these websites, disregarding their marketing activities, how much they spend on Google Ads or anything. So important is how many people, how many users are ending up on their websites. And in this case, we are taking only the user traffic that is a little bit more qualified. So we're taking out the bouncers, meaning that users that are visiting the first website and then from the first jumping or leaving the website. We are counting only visitors that are going at least to another website or spending a minimum of, I think, a minute on the website. Does it answer your question?
Yes, I was just hoping to get some. Well, if you're working in the business, the big question is really who are the successful of these aggregators. And I mean, personally, I've worked quite closely with some of the people from Who Can Fix My Car and from Auto Butler. And I'm surprised that they were not ranking higher in terms of traffic. But you know, I don't have any data to indicate that the numbers are wrong. So I'm just thinking if there is a way to really monitor who are successful in terms of, you know, really growing business and capturing business, because I mean, obviously it's an effort already to get people on the website, but the second big step is after they have come to your website, can you actually transfer that visit into to a job where you earn money?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is unfortunately, we don't have a technical way to collect this information, how many leads they generated or how many jobs they have given to garages. And in my experience, well, exactly this or these business models we are observing since 2012 with all the players in Germany. And when you ask them, everybody is super successful and giving leads to thousands of garages, and all of them are happy. And now 10 years later, we know that the situation wasn't like this. So there is, from my side, no way to gather this information on a very solid basis to know exactly what is the business behind and how many jobs have been generated.
Yeah, but just a factor like annual turnover of that company would, you know, help to put in the relation. Are they, you know, it's great that a small company, if they've, you know, they invest a lot of time and effort and resources into generating traffic, that they would, you know, generate lots of business. But if they are, you know, 10% of the size of the market leader, then it's a different message.
Yeah. But in my eyes, it's fair to take the user traffic. You can certainly discuss if this source of user traffic is close to 100% or 90% accurate or 80% accurate to what it does. But it's quite or the best indicator to understand who is who has the chances to be successful. If we take a look, I mean, Who Can Fix My Car is not doing that bad. It's in comparison to the US players, which are not only being these kind of routing portals, but having a lot of more information on the topic of car repairs itself. So in this case, maybe not 100% comparable among each other, but certainly we see that Who Can Fix My Car and ID Garage, and we have also Auto Butler. You will find them here, and from my side, you can get a quite good picture and understanding that who is more or less successful on the market.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think definitely the aftermarket needs something like the tool here, because the question everybody is answering or asking in the business is, you know, what is the digitalization and the digital market space for the independent aftermarket going to look like? Is it going to be the service aggregators? Is it going to be the shop portals in whatever form, if it's you know, company-owned shops or Amazon Motors or eBay Motors or whatever? So I'm just really trying to understand everything to see how I could use this in the best possible way. So you know, I'm not criticizing. I'm just I absolutely want to understand it, so I make sure I interpret the data in the right way. That's why I'm asking all of those stupid questions.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. All questions are good questions. And I totally agree. I mean, we saw the dominance of Autodoc, for example, and we know about other players like Oscaro, Kfz-Teile24, and we see that they have been growing to very big companies, mainly in the last years due to their activities or internationalization. Yeah, they are all addressing the DIY market, users or people that are fixing their cars by themselves or knowing people that they can do it for them. But this type of market is certainly limited. And next step is going to be to address either directly the garages, so going into the B2B business, or addressing all, let's assume that we have a 10% DIY market and we are talking about 90% of car drivers that they are not reaching at the moment. And these aggregators is certainly an interesting way to address the typical normal car driver who is not looking for parts, but for service. But so far, at least from the German or European perspective, it has not been accepted by the end customers on a very significant level. But maybe it's just a matter of time that we will see also more potential on this side. Okay, I see we are already having only a minute left from time schedule. It took a little bit longer than expected. Therefore, very quickly, if I want to emphasize everybody who is having a question, please raise it. From my side, just the information, this kind of tool is something that we sell on a yearly basis as a subscription model. So we sell user logins. You can log into the dashboard from any browser, and we are having this annual subscription models, and we are sending you the couple of information on the pricing and on the model afterwards, so that you can have a look about prices and what, if necessary, to share with your colleagues. And whenever you have questions or you need to have such a demonstration again with your colleagues, please let me know. I'm happy to have this session in a one-on-one session again. Yeah. Okay, I see there is one more question. Please.
Just a quick question. Is it possible to somehow download the average price information or sales information by reference number and not by article number or EAN number for the eBay sales?
We have collected also the product number.
Yes.
And that would be something that we can do on a custom basis, so that you provide us with a list of your product numbers, and we're doing the matching in the background and provide you back with the average prices per product number.
So it's not possible to directly look up on the eBay sales website on Wolk eBay sales and look it by yourself.
It is also possible, but you can do it only number by number. I don't know if this is then the feasible way for you.
Yes.
Therefore, but it's yeah, no problem. If you are a subscriber of the dashboard, then we do this service for free. That we just yeah, add these information to your product numbers.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so in this case, I thank you very much for your attention, and I hope it was interesting and it matched your expectation of today's session. If yes, if no, I'm happy to get any kind of feedback. Let me know. And as I said earlier, in case of questions, I'm very happy to have direct one-on-one sessions so that we can look up for your brands or for your specific needs that you have. And my colleague Felix is then following up and sending you a couple of information about today's session. So thank you very much again for your attention, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.